Hello, welcome back to the show. So, flags. Flags are flying all over the place at the moment, eh? This Olympic Games has been a lot of fun. We'll talk more about the Olympics a bit later on, but seeing all the flags in all their glory, I got to thinking about Hokkaido's own flag. And I can't believe how many people don't even really know it exists. I mean, even Japanese people don't know about it really. A very common conversation about the Hokkaido flag goes something like this. Hey, the Hokkaido flag is flying over the old red brick government building today. What? We have a flag? Then they get shown a picture of it and they go, ooh, yeah, that, I know that, I've seen that. But honestly, most people don't even know it exists. And before we get right down into it, I have to welcome a new country to the pod. Welcome to the show to whoever tuned in Vietnam. I love seeing new flag marks pop up on the analytics page on Spotify. Really cool. Welcome, Vietnam. Okay, right. The Hokkaido flag. It is a 7-pointed star with red in the center and a white outline on a navy blue background. And as always, there are pictures of it up on the Cycling Hokkaido Instagram page. So, what does it all mean? Well, the flag and emblem were made official on May 1st, 1967, and it was inspired by the Hokkaido Development Commission's flag, which had a red 5-pointed star on a blue field. And that was called the Hokushin flag. And that was sorta the flag for Hokkaido up until the 1960s. And here's another thing. I don't know if you folks know this. I didn't really know this, but for a 4-year period from 1882 to 1886, Hokkaido was actually split into 3 separate prefectures. And they were Hakodate, Sapporo, and Nemuro. During this time, there was no flag. Oh, man. When I was putting together this episode, I had this, what can you say? I had this feeling that I'd kind of just, with talking about flags, I had this feeling that I'd taken up permanent residence in Dork City with this episode. Sorry if I'm stepping on any toes there, folks, but I felt like I was really letting my nerd flag fly, so to speak, with putting this episode together. Oh, well. But hey, I really do think this stuff is interesting. So, on with the show. Hey, well, it's an important part of this beautiful island's history, right? So, in the 1960s, when other prefectures in Japan were developing their own flags, Hokkaido thought they'd join in the fun. So, in 1968, as part of the Hokkaido Centennial Project that was celebrating 100 years of the Japanese officially occupying Hokkaido, several art organizations were commissioned to create designs for the flag. And they had their pick of over 7,500 proposed flags. And the one they chose was designed by a guy named Kenichi Kuritani and his team from the Hokkaido Design Institute. The emblem of Hokkaido represents Hokkaido's pioneer spirit and bright future with the 7-pointed star. The reason they went with a 7-pointed star is because that old flag I was talking about the Hokkaido Commission, theirs was a 5-pointed star. So they went with 7 for this new flag, which was kind of symbolically meant to represent the idea of growth, future, and prosperity. So going from 5 points to 7 points. I guess it's a better star. I don't know. So the emblem itself, the star emblem itself can actually be any color, but on the flag, it has to be the inner red star in the center with a white outline, with a navy blue background. The navy blue background represents the northern seas and sky. The red 7-pointed star in the center symbolizes the indomitable energy of Hokkaido residents, with the white outline representing the brilliance and the snow and wind of Hokkaido. Indomitable. I was with some people last weekend, and we were talking about the flag, and one young woman was trying to translate the Japanese word fukutsuno, and she was right there. I understood what she was saying. She's like, never give up, keep going, unending, very very strong, and she knew it wasn't quite there. And again, her English was perfect. So then we looked it up, and sure enough, Kutsuno means indomitable. I would highly doubt. I'm not surprised she didn't come up with that word, because I would highly doubt if I've ever naturally come out with that myself. You know what I mean? It's one of those words that but you don't really have a lot of use for. How are you feeling today? Indomitable. But anyway, that word indomitable is a part of the flag of Hokkaido. When they were coming up with the flag, when they were making the flag, they came up with some other official symbols for Hokkaido. Not the same year, not the same, but kind of around that time. The Hokkaido emblem, the seven-pointed star. The official symbol for birds is the red-crowned crane. The official symbol for tree is the Yezo spruce, and the official flower is the rugosa rose. And they were all chosen to kind of reflect Hokkaido's nature, heritage, and identity. That's the flag. Those are the official symbols of Hokkaido. So in the entirely likely scenario that you knew nothing of the flag of Hokkaido, you are now among the fortunate who do. So, this is a Hokkaido podcast, right? You got to talk about the symbols and the very flag of the place, right? And with it dumping down snow as I'm recording this still, and with us supposed to get a lot more snow on the way later this week, I'm obviously not riding. I'm not anywhere near being able to get out for a bike ride yet. So the topic this week was Hokkaido's flag. I'll put this one in the library about Hokkaido information that is on this podcast. So there you go, folks. And yes, with the Olympic Games on at the moment, flags are flying all over the place. I always watch the Olympic Games. It provides some of the greatest sports moments we have. Now, having said that, I definitely don't enjoy the nationalism it brings out. Nor the destruction to local economies, ecosystems, the natural destruction it causes. I don't enjoy that they leave in their wake. But it kind of inspires a lot more people to be better, try harder, higher, faster, stronger, all that kind of stuff, right? And it's fun to watch, but politically, I'm not the biggest fan of the Olympics, but it's great sports, right? You can't really beat that. And I guess it's also kind of fun if people don't get too crazy with the nationalism. Watching everybody cheer for their country without going to war is pretty cool, right? But again, from a purely sports aspect, yes, it's awesome. And this year's Winter Olympics have been wild. Wow. I was talking about this with a friend, and we figure this Winter Olympics has been absolutely nuts. Every night we've watched, something crazy has happened. Now, obviously, I live in Japan, so all of the TV coverage here is about sports in which Japanese athletes are competing. That's not a complaint, folks. Every country does that. I completely understand. Of course, every country's media focuses their attention on their own athletes. Totally natural, 100%. That's what the people want to see. I very unfortunately live in a country where the men's ice hockey tournament gets pretty much zero coverage until the final. But I did see the fight in the Canada-France game. Wow. That's the first fight ever in Olympic hockey. Of course, it had to be Tom Wilson for Canada that was involved in that tilt. But I think it's hilarious that, okay, Tom Wilson's a tough guy, right? Now, I think it's really hilarious that he he quite obviously got ragdolled by that Frenchman, and seeing Canada's reaction to it on the internet has been very funny. People like it's like it could not have happened. Like a tough Canadian hockey player could could not possibly have been on the losing end of a hockey fight with a Frenchman. It's like it's hurt them to their very core. Oh Lord, it's been very, very funny. But I was just reading today. I guess that French dude's in a lot of trouble, eh? What's his name? Pierre Corin, or something like that. I guess he's been he kicked out of the tournament, and now he has to go before a judge or something when he gets back to France. Wow, just for a hockey fight, holy smokes! But I guess they're real upset that he's kind of tarnished the image of the games and all that. But I haven't heard anything like that from on Tom Wilson's end of things. I guess the French have really taken this very, very seriously. Pierre Crinon, that was it. That was his name. But yeah, this Olympics has been incredible for the amount of dramatic injuries that have happened as well. Man, sometimes your heart's just in your throat, isn't it? Watching some of these kids, watching some of these athletes get just destroyed. I mean, early on, there was that female Chinese snowboarder when she crashed really, really hard in the half pipe. What was her name? Liu Jiao. I'm butchering that name, I'm sure, but Liu Jiayu. Sorry. But oh man, I watched that live and that was scary. Did you all see that? She kind of missed one landing. Then the next jump she didn't quite have her balance back. And then the next one was just a complete yard sale. Holy smokes. But the way she hit her head was scary, wasn't it? And that scorpion-looking pose she landed in, oh man, that was no joke. But thankfully, she was fine. And then, there was an Australian snowboarder who broke his neck in a practice session. Holy man, that guy was 35 years old. Cam Bolton. Cam Bolton was his name. Apparently, he's going to be fine because he fractured a couple of discs. So it is a broken neck, but it's not kind of what you normally associate with that. You normally associate like instant paralysis. But he had no spinal cord injury, so just the bones actually got fractured. He's going to be fine, thank goodness. And then there was that crazy sport of dual moguls. My Lord. You see the speed those lunatics are going through those moguls? Man, and some of those guys have had some horrible crashes. My wife and I, we were literally on the edge of our seats watching that. That is a crazy sport. And that one Japanese dude, did you see him? Ikuma Hiroshima? Oh man, he was clearly out of control at one point. Somehow got it back together and finished the race backwards to get the win. You're like, what the hell is this sport? Quality television, eh? Oh man. And then, folks, how about that curling incident between Canada and Sweden? Did you see that? Oh my God. I know people get passionate about their sports, but curling always looks like it should be pretty chill to me. Man. Now, I know the very basic rules of scoring for curling, right? Closest rock to the center gets the most points. I do not know the finer points about things like the double touch the Canadian curler Mark Kennedy was accused of by Sweden's Oscar Eriksson. Man, that whole thing, that was a lot of fun to watch. It was just, again, it was just so unique because it's curling. It's a very calm, sportsman-like sport. But this event just obviously stood out for its intensity and profanity. Purely on the part of Mark Kennedy. Now again, I don't know the rules. But in the video of him actually throwing that rock where he's being accused of cheating, he is clearly touching that stone with his finger after he let it go, right? The rock is on that green line as well, the hog line, that's called. Now, again, I am below amateur status in curling, but it looks to me like that is a violation. But I don't know. Is the rule about touching the stone or touching the handle? I don't know. But again, either way, Team Canada has not been hit with any penalty by official commissions or governing bodies or anything like that. So I guess it's okay. But who knows? But again, excellent entertainment. and then you've got Donald Trump calling one of his own Olympic athletes a loser. Whoa. Like, man, all the guy said, what did he get asked? He got asked how he felt wearing the American colors or something when things are so politically back and forth in his home country, something like that. And he said he had mixed emotions about it. Well, that's a completely reasonable answer, isn't it? I mean, with seeing what's going on. Now, I stay out of politics on this podcast, obviously, but to say you have mixed emotions about what's going on back in your home country, that seems completely reasonable. And then the president called him a loser. I mean, an Olympic athlete who spent all that time training, trying to be the best representative of his country possible, competing for his family, friends, and nation, he expresses himself as he is allowed to do by the First Amendment, and his own president calls him a loser. Wow. So yeah, this Olympics has been just extremely entertaining, and with any luck, Team Canada will win the gold in the men's ice hockey. Man, it's just been so crazy. Oh, it's been a lot of fun, but been a lot of fun too. And there's been a lot of amazing things happening as well. You know, like, I mean, the Japanese figure skaters were great. The Japanese skiers and snowboarders have been just fantastic. It's been really cool to see. But right, where was I? Yeah, folks, before I go, I got to tell you, a couple of weeks ago, this podcast hit a new milestone. There's a podcast ranking out there in the internet, and on that ranking, I think it's an actual Apple podcast ranking, and on that chart, for sports podcasts for all of Japan, the Cycling Hokkaido podcast hit number 29 in the whole country for sports podcasts. I was so stoked to see that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all of you who have ever tuned into the show. I don't know if you remember or not, but our previous best was 80, and now we've made it to number 29. Awesome. This is still a very, very small podcast, but it's still something I love to do. And it's thanks to all of you. This podcast is still moving in the right direction. And here we are in episode 130. 130 weeks in a row of putting a show out into the ether. And folks, that ain't nothing to sneeze at, is it? Thank you, everybody. And as always, please remember, subscribe to the show, leave a review, pass it on to your friends. Maybe they'll find something they can use for their upcoming Hokkaido trip. I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe and follow the show. Woo, 130. Thank you. And folks, as always, please send me a message. Let's see if we can't get some kilometers in this summer. Or maybe you'd like to come and be a guest on the show. I would love to talk to you. Hopefully some of you will reach out and we can put something together. So, folks, that is all the information I think you need for Hokkaido's flag, which is named Hokkaido Ki. And I hope to see a lot more of you out there this year. Have fun out there. Love ya. Cycling Hokkaido!